I don't see the reason why somebody will invest over 20, 30 billion to build ordinary tank farm. Why would you want to be importing unemployment to this country and empowering others in another country?
Which way now?
Some economists celebrate Dangote as proof that Nigerians can build continental giants. Others warn that his dominance represents a dangerous concentration of economic power. Today, on My Better Niger, we examine these complex questions. In the studio with us are Dr. Oluseyi Ajumo, a senior economics lecturer at the University of Lagos and a renowned economist. And in the studio with us as well is Mr. Ademola Oni, an investment banker and commercial banker as well, who is now into energy infrastructure. He's an entrepreneur in the energy sector. Mr. Ademola Oni, once again, welcome to an event by Rescue Nigeria and welcome to My Better Niger. Other people say that without the government, Dangote would be nothing. That most of the money he invested on the refinery was actually the money of Nigerian taxpayers. And there are stories out there that he got a lot of foreign currency at the official exchange rates, that he actually milked the Nigerian economy to the max. Is Dangote a beneficiary of Nigerians? Or are Nigerians really beneficiaries of Dangote's investment?
Um, I don't have details since I am not in government. But the truth is this: investment or going into business is a risk. So if people are saying all manner of whatever they want to say, they have the right. Why are others not doing that as well? So if somebody can take the risk and it is working, then we should give him that credit. Because anyhow you look at it, going into business is a risk. It's either it succeeds or it fails. It's not as if somebody is now saying, come and collect people's money free of charge, FOC. If you borrow money, he's going to pay what he borrows back. So I don't have that details that maybe there is favoritism or whatever. But anyhow you look at it, well, he did his own work. Because those in government, it's not as if they are the one begging him to come and do what he's doing. He is actually the one that went all the way out to get what he's doing to be done. I remember during Obasanjo, he started with buying the refineries. And when Yar'Adua became the president, it was like, no way, nothing like that. He collected the refineries back. And those refineries, what is happening to them today? It was after that, the people that they went to buy those refineries, what happened to them? After that, they stopped. But he didn't stop. He moved forward. Okay, since, the government does not want to release their own refinery that is not working, they consider it as national asset. Okay, why can't I build new one? And he started from scratch. Look at what he did. Initially, he wanted to start in Ogun State, before Lagos State, eventually, he was able to establish it in Lagos State. He has to dredge the sea so that you can bring what he needs closer to where he is. Have to, like creating his own port, port. Has to create road that will bring in the materials he needs from the port straight to the refinery. So this is something he started from scratch, and we need to give him that credit, not to start looking at all these naysayers that there is public money. Which public money? Why is others not doing that? So if it is public money, why is it only him? Others too should go and collect that public money and establish what it is.
All right. I'll stay with you, Dr. Ajumo. Very recently, actually just a few days ago, the federal government reversed a policy on applying import tax to imported petroleum products, at least diesel, I believe. They had said to do this, then they reversed at the last minute. Some people said, well, this was a Dangote-inspired policy. What do you think? Was the government right to have cancelled that or not? What was the intention, if you know? And would that kind of tax be good for Nigeria? And was the government right to reverse it?
Import duty is good, in such a way that it will encourage local production. Because when you look at Nigeria, the cost of production is higher in Nigeria compared to other places. And not only that, when you look at the kind of refined oil that has been coming into Nigeria, they are about the worst. And when you look at it, you look at the exchange rate and look at the price of fuel in Nigeria, you will see that the cost of a liter of fuel is 70 cents, which is about the lowest grade of fuel cost of production. So what has been coming into the country is a useless fuel from other countries compared to what Dangote is refining. But Nigerians are not interested in whether the fuel is good or not. What Nigerians are interested in is which one is cheap. So you will see some fuel, once they are selling it into your car, the way it will be smelling, you yourself will know that this is not a good fuel. And those are the things that are finding their ways into Nigeria. In some cases, they might be damaging your car gradually, but it's not a one-off, it's not instant. So you won't know the impact of what is happening. But the truth is this: with that import tax on on fuel, it will discourage importation and give local production a preference, which is what we need. But to say that, is all the noise that people have been shouting all along. Dangote is a monopoly, is this, is that. I'm sure, the government needs to be very, very careful, because the way we are in Nigeria, we're on a very dicey situation that require a lot of caution. So once people are saying no, it's better for government to listen, to douse the tension. So if government actually remove that import tax, it is to douse the tension, so that we won't have any problem in the country. So, but in true sense of things, it is good we have that import duty on imported fuel, and give preferential treatment or preferential whatever to local refineries. With time, it's not only Dangote that will be refining oil in Nigeria. So many refineries are springing up, and with time, so whether Dangote will continue to be a dominant, it's left to others. So if others can do what he did, fine. And if they cannot do what he did, then they should not blame him for being a dominant.
All right. They should not blame him. If they want, if they think that they want to achieve the same feat, they should just get in the business. Ademola, do you agree that import tax will be good for Nigeria and for Nigerians?
Perfectly. But what I think government needs to do, so that it will not create the scenario of cement, government need to sit with Dangote and with other investors on that industry by signing an 3 to 5 years offtake agreement in pricing. We still need to continue to leverage on Dangote's capacity for the import substitution, but we need to attach base incentive like the price cap, investment commitment, transparency on the dominancy that people are afraid of. Government need to phase out excessive tariff for over 3 to 5 years. They need to enforce competition law more aggressively to prevent abuse of dominance. They still need is government still need to institutionalize regular dialogue between Dangote, labor union, and civil society. We need to mandate transparent reporting on pricing, taxes, and community investment. To me, they still need to slow down on that import tariff so that others can breathe. And there must be a time frame, whether it's going to be for 3 years or 5 years. They need to sit down, but the government have to take something off Dangote so that he can quickly get his investment back, so that will encourage others investors to quickly plug it into. If you come to Nigeria, come to Apapa now, you see all in our jetty, all those people that enjoy the subsidy, they don't want to invest the money, and they made a lot of money in this country. They still don't believe in this country, but they believe to take advantage of weak governments and policies. I don't see the reason why somebody will invest over 20-30 billion to build ordinary tank farm. Why would you want to be importing unemployment to this country? I'm empowering others in another country. So government, I'm still repeating myself, government just need to sit down, let them do a framework, do a off-take agreement. Those costs, they need to agree with it so that the petrol will not turn to cement that Dangote dictates the price often. So that 3 to 5 years off-take agreement with him, it will encourage others to quickly invest so that anybody that wants to import again, after 5 years or after 3 years, we are applying this certain tariff for import of that particular product. So that the others that have invested a lot of money in their tank farm can quickly repatriate their money or make the money, and they will be forced to go and join to buy from Dangote. Because the problem we are having now is all those tank farm owners, they don't want to buy from Dangote at all. They want to frustrate him. And that is what made Dangote think out of box and outsmart them. So to me, government have a lot of work to do. I am totally in support of withdrawing of that import duty.
Oh, great, thank you so much as well. We'll begin to wrap up now. I'd initially intended to ask, should Dangote be reined in or should Dangote be supported? But from our discussion so far, the answer is obvious. I don't need to ask that question anymore. We think that instead of reining him in the way that a lot of Nigerians have been talking, what really needs to be in place is actually policy to encourage businesses like Dangote's. But you also mentioned, Ademola Oni, the need to have certain kinds of agreement in place to keep the economy safe and not just take the words of Dangote, but to have something that can be like a contract. Dangote's contract with the Nigerian people, something like that. That's really smart. Now, as we close, all I want to ask both of you now, starting with Dr. Ajuwon, what are your parting thoughts? Looking at everything we've said around Dangote, everything around monopoly, everything around doing business in Nigeria, what would make a better Nigeria? How should our economy operate? Should we encourage more businesses like Dangote? Should we go in a different direction? What kind of economic system would actually be most beneficial to Nigerians? Dr. Ajuwon.
My advice is that we need more of people like Dangote in Nigeria, because the more we have, the less will be the monopoly and the better for the economy. We need more of people like Dangote who will believe in Nigeria and who will be ready, to take the bull by the horn, just like Dangote is doing, so that, Nigeria will be a better place. Like I said in one of my statements, one of the major problems we're having in Nigeria is unemployment. And why are we having unemployment? Because most of the things we are consuming in this country that we are supposed to be producing, we are importing them. So we're actually, exporting our job to other countries at our own expense. And we can see the impact. That is why our exchange rate is so high as it is today. although that's not the only cause of the problem. A lot of corruption is also going on because we sat down and we look at it all during the time that during Buhari, when they were saying that we are owing 7 billion US dollar, on repatriated profit. We look at it, we look at how much is coming in, how much is going out. We realize that there is not much changes. So how come we are now, forex short? Definitely we know what happened during the past former CBN governor regime. And the effect of it is what you saw, one man having over 700 duplexes in a choice place in Abuja. So those are the things that cause the exchange rate problem. But the fact is this: what are we producing in Nigeria? What are we manufacturing? We look at our NPI. Our NPI is saying, I think it's around between 56 and 59%, which means the capacity, because once it's more than 50, once your NPI is more than 50, that's good for us. So we are saying our NPI is high. But the point is, when you look at, I think we look at UK and we saw that their NPI is it 30 something or 40 something, because they have excess capacity. We don't even have, we are not, how many industries do we have in Nigeria? So we need so many industries in this country. We need so many people like Dangote that will believe in this country and, we create opportunities for Nigeria to move out of poverty and to take our place in the Community of Nations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajuwon. And over to you, Dimalawani. What does a better Nigeria look like for you in terms of creating an economy that is able to sustain the things we want and expand our economic capacity?
Yeah, thank you very much. I can't say less. We need more of Dangote. And it is high time the individuals are looking back and hold you go by the horn tie. For me, we just need a market-driven framework with strong institution. You need to engage, government need to engage with private sector investment. They are the engine of growth, but it needs predictable rules, enforceable contracts, and transparent licensing. Independent regulators, like we need a robust competition commission, a fair electricity market operators, so that this will keep monopolies in check and protect consumers as well. We also need public investment in infrastructure like ports, rail, power, digital broadband, internet. This will crowd the private capital and lower the cost of doing business in this country. So government still need to do more. We need social safety net and human capital development. We need more from government to do more for Nigerians. They need to just bring like Dangote or Tedola and the rest of them to bring it in board. And we need more of Dangote. And I'm still repeating it. We should see him as a strategic partner into this economy, into this nation, and onto this generation. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you so much. It's been a very interesting discussion, and I'll be very honest with you, both of you. When I was coming into this podcast today, my expectation was that we would bash Dangote. My expectation was that we would see him as an evil monopolist, and you've kind of allowed me, and I hope a lot of Nigerians, to see things from a different perspective about what it brings to the table, what it contributes to the economy. Nigerians, today we examine the complex and often contradictory impact of Aliko Dangote's business empire on the Nigerian economy. We've explored the tension between celebrating a homegrown billionaire industrialist and questioning whether its market dominance actually serves Nigerian consumers and the broader economy. We've looked at recent labor issues that challenge the narrative of Dangote as an unqualified national hero. The reality really is nuanced. Dangote's investments have undeniably built industrial capacity and created jobs. But the evidence also suggests that we need rules of engagement with businesses like Dangote's, not just Dangote alone. Nigeria needs to find a path that encourages industrialization without creating monopolies that exploit Nigerians. The Dangote question is ultimately about what kind of economy Nigeria wants to build. Aliko Dangote is undoubtedly a remarkable businessman who has built something extraordinary. But being good for Aliko Dangote isn't automatically the same as being good for Nigerians. The challenge for policymakers, for economists like Dr. Ajuwon, and citizens like you and I is honestly to access where his interests and Nigeria's interests align, where they come together, where they are mutually benefiting, where it becomes a win-win situation for Nigerians, and also to look at where they diverge, and to have policies that protect the interests of ordinary Nigerians. We want more businesses that produce locally and employs Nigerians. We need industrial capacity, as Dr. Ajuwon said, and we need to expand our economy, as Ademola Oni also said. Thank you for joining us on My Better Nigeria today. And I'm so grateful to you, uh, Mr. Ademola Oni, Dr. Oluseyi Ajuwon, for being on this program, for sharing your thoughts, and for being open and honest about what you really think about Dangote and the Nigerian economy. Thank you so much for joining us today. And until the next time, to Nigerians, I say keep fighting for the Nigeria that we all deserve. Thank you, and join us the next time on My Better Nigeria.